Hi, I'd like to share some feedback about Week 9 discussion board. First, I apologize for getting behind. I don't do it very often. This is Tuesday. I got Week 9 done. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll get Week 10 done. And the directions said, search out for more information on this topic. And quite a few people missed that. But life goes on, not to worry. I'd like to start off with the first article, some of the 6 that were cited, making teams work in space. And the NASA rep's point was that even in a very confined space, astronauts have to work together. You can't get on your nerves. And it reminded me of the time in Shell. I had to share my office with my direct supervisor. Ouch! Every personal conversation could be heard. Another article was about process observation, and in Shell we did this. It was in a meeting. There was a timekeeper, the meeting chair, the timekeeper, and a process observer who would go time out when we got off topic. Virtual teams have an agenda just like face-to-face teams, and both go off topic all the time. That's why I like timeout in both kinds of, in a face-to-face team. I can tell you we have virtual team meetings every week, and I'm telling you we always go off topic. I'm hoping to introduce this concept in the fall. You do want to respect observation of how the other person is acting. But you could say in private conversation, well, I noticed that this happened. What do you feel about that? That usually opens to an honest conversation. When you ask inquiry questions, don't make it sound like you're taking them to the torture chamber of the Middle Ages. It should be a genuine question for which you're not indicating you already have an opinion or an answer for. Often that's the way we behave. You're answering my question, and in the brain is the bubble with me planning my reply to you before you finish. Please consider documenting observations and periodically discussing them, just like you document meeting notes. A number of items I could share with you, but I'd like to focus on a cultural one. The concept of visually documenting what's happening, coming from a Japanese art form where a picture is held up, flip it over, the dialogue, and all of it tells a story. Again, storytelling. You could make it visual by keeping, say, a calendar of your observations to share. You've probably heard of the 80-20 rule, and when I first heard that, I didn't know what it meant, and I had to guess from context and confirm with my colleague. 80% of consequences, 80% come from 20% of causes, consequences, causes. Some people think it's like 80% of the world work is done by 20% of the people. And I do find that true too. 2 classmates talked about assessment. One, the link to an article, which you have. I took the team assessment for the weekly meetings we have, looking good, and I sent a copy of the results to the classmate that wrote about that. Pretty interesting. Another classmate kindly shared that her business uses the DISC system of assessment, and she posted a nice visual of what that means. Now, I have not been trained in that. I haven't taken any, assessments with it, but I know Myers-Briggs. And I'm signing up for another form of assessment later this week. The penultimate article was Built to Last, 6 Principles, based heavily on Jim Collins' book, Built to Last. I recommend it. It's somewhere in that library behind me. I couldn't find it. And another classmate found an article on leading global teams, and that article distinguished between leading an individual and leading a team. That makes an interesting read. Well, I hope this, along with the links that I sent you, will let you explore a little more deeper where you're interested in. Thank you.